It's after 11 o'clock on Wednesday, the 1st of May 2019. Altrincham have made progress in tonight's Vanarama National League North promotion playoff eliminator. 7-6 on penalties against Blyth Spartans. It was 2-2 after extra time. We're talking to manager Phil Parkinson. Phil, I've been watching Altrincham a long time. That is one of the tensest events or nights or days that I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, for once, I'm absolutely speechless. It was a fantastic game, a fantastic occasion to be part of. I feel like I've run a marathon. I feel emotionally and physically drained. I don't think I've ever felt like that at a football game before. That's how much it meant to myself, everybody. I mean, at the end there, the scene, it's like we've won the final, but you're playing the form team who've beat Stockport County in the run of, I think, 7 games unbeaten. We knew it was going to be a real tough game. And we certainly didn't disappoint first half. We were miles off it, but you've got to give them a little bit of credit. So I was really worried with our performance in the first half and the way we conceded the 2 goals. Is it just not going to be our day? But just like the character that this team's shown throughout the season, we spoke to them at half-time. We asked them some questions. Did they want the season to be over in another 45 minutes? And they certainly answered that. I mean, to get an equaliser, I don't even know what minute that was, but it must have been the dying seconds of the game. And to go to extra time and then to win on penalties. I just said to the lads we were like the Germans in there, but they weren't far away either. Some of the penalties were unbelievable tonight. So we'll take a lot of confidence and a lot of pride, and I hope the town do with that as well. I mean, well, I know they will. The amount of people who were here and got behind us.
The first half, we did struggle. Do you put that down to nerves and the occasion?
I just think that Blyth have been in that good of vein of form, and I was trying to play it down a little bit, but it's there. They have been in a rich vein of form, maybe not been able to rotate for whatever reasons, but hey, listen, there was 2 trains of thought in the last couple of games do a risk injuries, which would have really hurt us tonight if we didn't have, obviously not having Andy White hurt us, but Sean Densmore was outstanding, and that's the beauty of having 3 fullbacks. But any more injuries, I don't think we get that result tonight. They're extremely strong, in fantastic form, and you could see why they've been beating everyone in the path. But we knew it training. We worked on a lot. I think I've watched 6 games of theirs, because I knew we were very similar types of teams. The management try and get them to play like we do. But I knew we could hurt them if we were able to play our game, but they didn't allow us to do that in the first half. But second half and extra time, I think we more than deserved to win in open play. I know they'll say they're disappointed with a header, and I think they had a penalty shout, but we had a penalty shout, but we had enough chances to finish them off in open play. And I think if we would have took 1 or 2 of them, they wouldn't have come back at us again. But then it goes to penalties and it's just anyone's game. But the nerve the players showed was unbelievable against, again, our keeper's outstanding, and I think they were singing England's #1, so I don't quite know what he's done before he's at Blyth. I don't really know a great deal about him, but he looks decent in the game. So it was always going to be for a tense affair. Both teams technically good players and both keepers are very good, and obviously ours was a little bit better on the night.
The 2 goals to give Jarrett Rivers and Alex Nicholson credit. Great diagonal run by Rivers, and then he's got the ball and finished it off. And Alex Nicholson, he had space in front of him, but it was a wonderful strike.
It was, and Blyth, as I said, I can't say enough good things about Blyth, because they try and play the game in the right way as we do. They try and play within the spirit of the game. The management team are a credit to the club. They conduct themselves really well. The players conduct themselves well. Their fans were superb tonight. So they'll have a long journey home. They'll be really disappointed, but we'll absolutely love this moment. We beat a very good team. They're coming into the playoffs who probably were there to create an upset with regards coming in late, winning 7 games, beating the champions in that run as well. So we've done ever so well to stop them in the tracks, take them all the way and beat them on penalties. I don't think, as hard as it was to sort of watch and stomach, what a fantastic way to end the game and sends everybody home happy.
We needed a little bit of inspiration, and for me it came in the ball from Jake Malt that got us led to the first goal. A ball out to the wing, and the cross has come in, and eventually it's been clawed out to Sean Williams, who's hit it really well. It looked an absolute nailed-on penalty to me.
Yeah, I totally agree. As I alluded to earlier, I felt there was a couple of penalty calls in the game. I felt we had another 2 as well, but we got one, and they've had a lot of luck against us as well. You look at earlier on in the season where they've got a draw here and the back pass from Jake, which never was, and I looked at some of the previous games. I think they had 2 penalties in their last game, so it swings in roundabouts. And I was saying that we weren't having any luck the last couple of games, and it swung round for us tonight. And you need a bit of luck in knockout competition, so we're in that kind of we're in those types of games now. So we had our luck tonight, but we earned it as well. I've said it earlier, the harder you work, the luckier you get, and we created our luck tonight.
And the penalty itself, I think we might have got a little bit of help from the pitch, because it did seem to take a little bit of a strange kick off the turf or off the sand. The keeper certainly got his hand to it, but JJ did enough.
Home field advantage, Brian. We used it, didn't we?
Second half, we were chasing the game, and it really, yes, it came in. The goal came in the 3rd minute of 4 minutes added time, so it literally was right at the death. But Josh Hancock, come the moment, come the man, and it was a wonderful finish.
It was, and he could have had a hat-trick tonight, Josh. He probably wasn't at his best in terms of the qualities that Josh has had, but he's got us the equaliser and he scored as the winner, so he can do whatever he wants at the moment. He's been absolutely superb this season, and again, how hard he's worked, he's got his rewards, because he didn't stop, he didn't hide, he kept going, and he got us that equaliser that has led to the winning opportunity with a penalty, and he tucked it away beautifully.
But even so, there was still drama to come, because Dan Maguire has worked a really good opening in the box. He's a very, very clever player. How Tony Thompson has managed to get a left hand onto that, I'll never know, but it was one of the top saves of the season.
It was, and Tomo's probably had a real roller coaster of emotions this season with regards how the season's gone for him, and ever since we brought Drenchy in, it's really brought the best out in Tomo. And I've said it all along, the fighting spirit that he shows, the desire to play for this football club. It kills me sometimes when I see people questioning him, because he's absolutely been outstanding for this football club. He's won a championship, and he's got us into these playoffs. Not single-handedly, the team has, but he's played a big part in that.
There were in the first period of extra time, I think that was probably our best period of the game. We created 2 fantastic chances, Sean Densmore and Josh Hancock, and we did seem to have the beating of Blyth. We opened them up on numerous occasions, and disappointing that we didn't manage to get the 3rd goal.
Yeah, really frustrating, and that's why it felt like, is it going to be our day, because we didn't finish them off in open play. And then, like you say, penalties are a lottery, but I tell you what, you've got your money's worth tonight, because them penalties were absolutely top draw. I've, as I said to you at the start, I've not experienced emotions like that for a long time. If ever, it was absolutely unbelievable, because the penalties, I couldn't see anybody missing. It was either going to be a great save, which Tomo produced, or we were going to be here till tomorrow. So it was, both teams absolutely left everything on the field. Unfortunately, we've come out on top, so I couldn't be happy. I couldn't be prouder of the team.
Strangely enough, Blyth have had a very good chance in the first half of extra time. Sean Reid's header coming off the crossbar, and we did ride our luck at times. Second half of extra time, a little bit quieter, and I think Blyth had settled for a draw in some ways, although they kept on sort of coming back at us. But once it went to penalties, and with both teams having used 4 substitutes, it made it. I'm sure it made it difficult for both managers, because I'm guessing potentially Sean Williams and Jordan Hume might have been on the penalty taking list.
Well, no, I deliberately brought Ben on for a penalty, to be fair. I spoke to him just 5-10 minutes before. I know he's very good at penalties. He might not look it, but he's very good. And I was very confident bringing him on. So Jordan was completely cramping up. It made sense. You keep Jordan on, yeah, he might take a penalty, but he had nothing left. And absolute honesty from Jordan and Connor as well, just completely cramped up. So yeah, it was a bit tactile as well, thinking I knew how strong Ben would be with a penalty.
And in terms of heroes on the night, there were a number of them. Tony Thompson we've mentioned, but I thought Sean Densmore, as the game wore on, he got better and better. Which, he's only 30. People think he's a little bit older now. He still is only 30. Well, but I thought he was absolutely magnificent. After a bit of a slow start to the game, and also Simon Richmond, James Poole, Max Harrop, but he wasn't on for that long. But they made a big contribution, and those fresh legs were really important.
Good substitutions. But yeah, on a serious note, they're good players, and there's there was nothing in it when it was a really, really tough decision to pick the team, because we had mixed it up last couple of games and lads had showed up really well. I mean, Callum Dolan, who was probably our best player on Saturday, didn't even make the bench, and Matty Chadwick. So it was really tough tonight, but the lads on the bench I knew would do what they did if needed, and hey, you saw it got us the result against the top team.
And it's Chorley on Sunday. We were literally 90 seconds away from our season finishing, but now we can go to Victory Park on Sunday, and who knows?
Exactly, who knows? It's a knockout competition. Obviously, we've had that game and people will say, well, they'll be tired going into Sunday, but we'll try and get a recovery session in tomorrow. We're in training Friday. We'll do everything we can to be right going into Sunday, but they'll have home field advantage. They will have had a big rest. They would have had probably 2 or 3 training sessions to prepare for us. But we've had a real massive game that we've just played in there, so hopefully we can take that momentum going into Sunday.
And it's great under the lights here. Once again, nearly just 2 short of 1,700 here. And fair play to the Blyth fans as well. I think both sets of supporters were magnificent.
Well, I asked for an environment. I asked for an electric atmosphere, and the Alty fans certainly didn't disappoint me there. I couldn't have asked for any more. It's the first time when we were warming up I could hear them singing coming in down the Golf Road, and it felt like a real Football League game. It was. I just can't. I've said it to you before. I can't explain how good it feels to win here. So nights like tonight will stay with me forever.
That's Phil Parkinson after a very, very emotional evening. Altrincham have made it through to the playoff semi-finals. Chorley on Sunday. Kick-off 3 p.m. Get yourself down to Victory Park.